Hi everyone, it's Jill. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing my January currently inked. Some of these pens I may have inked for several months this year. I'm kind of doing something a little bit different in some of my journals. So to start with, this is Diamine Forest Gâteau, and this one I have had inked for, I think this might be the second or third month in a row, but I'm using it in my reading journal, and the book that I'm taking notes on right now is kind of taking me a while, so I might have this one inked for another month or two. I don't know, but I love this color actually. This is the first scented ink from Diamine that I've liked. And I actually bought a bottle of this one, and I'm really happy that I did because I like using it in my pens, and it's not super wet unlike my experience with the other. Oops, can you see this? I'm sorry. With the other scented inks from Diamine. And this is in a TWSBI Eco Transparent Purple. And it doesn't go through on the Stalogy paper, so I'm actually really happy about that. So, that's the Stalogy paper inks go through a little bit easier than they do on Tomoe River, even the Sanzen one, except for the 2024 batch, or the 2025 batch, the one that we got in planners last year. And then the next ink that I have pen that I have is this TWSBI Eco with Ferris Wheel Press Moss Park Green. And I was trying to use more muted colors, although I know Forest Gâteau is not really muted, but that's one that's a carryover, so it's not really a new one. And I need to find a better way to do swatching because it's a lot harder when you're just trying to fill it in with an extra fine. Nib. And I really like sometimes the Onyx nibs are good, sometimes I've had trouble with them, and the trouble that I've had, I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but sometimes with my Onyx nibs, the ink will just blob onto the paper while I'm writing because I don't really press that hard on my pens. So I've had like a couple of them, where they just blobbed ink on the paper and it wasn't pretty. So they have sent like replacement nibs and feeds, and I think it's not necessary. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. The feeds seem to be a little bit different in the Onyx pens than the regular pens, because if I just change the feed, it seems to help, but just changing the nib doesn't seem to help as much. So I don't know what it is. But the next ink is Color Verge. It's from their Color Vent, and it's Erebus Crater. I love this ink. I voted for this ink for one of the top 3. I don't know which ones will be. We don't know. I don't know when they come out with them, because I know like the earliest I saw last year's was like in October. I think the ones from last year that they made into like the large bottles. I didn't get the color vent last year because by the time I looked, it was sold out everywhere. This year they seemed to have made enough, so I was happy about that. And I love this color. And I actually like this pen a lot because I didn't think I would like the Vanishing Point, but I had I still have it, it's just getting fixed, the Decimo. And so then I wanted to try a Vanishing Point, and I got the matte black one, and I love it. But I didn't really know if I would like it because of where the clip is, but it doesn't bother me. And this is fine. And then the next pen that I have, or the next color that I have inked is Diamine One More Sleep. And I just got a sample of this one, so once it's gone, it's gone. I don't have any more of it, but I might try to get another sample from like Vanessa or somewhere, because I got a sample at the Pelican Hub. Someone gave me a sample, or part of their sample that they had left over. It was like a milliliter, but that's enough to tell if you like a color. So, and I really like this color, so I might try to get a sample, like another sample, a small one of like 4 mils, because that'll last a while. And this is in my Sailor Pro Gear. And it is a fine nib. And I actually really like the Pro Gear in fine. I have a Pro Gear Slim in medium fine, and I like that one too, but I like the Pro Gear because it's a little bit thinner, so I like the fine nibs. And then this next pen and ink, this is the ink that I'm using for like studying my Korean, and I don't know why I picked blue, but I did. Probably because I don't really like black, so I just went with blue, and I really like blue inks, so I don't know, black just seems boring to me and too professional, so I just went with a blue, and I have a lot of blue inks too. And this one is Sailor Manyo. Oh, it's Sailor Manyo Konagi. I forgot which one it was. I know it was a Manyo one. And this pen, I actually really, really like it. And it's the Azvine V800. And I got it on Amazon right when they came out, and it's the blue and brown swirl. And the nib is really nice, and it's a big nib. It's a number 8 nib, so it's a huge nib, and it's a very smooth nib, so I really like it. So I don't regret buying that one at all. And I highly doubt I'll ever get a Mont Blanc. That's just kind of a dream. Actually, there's some like Japanese pens I'd want before I'd want a Mont Blanc, because I actually like the Japanese pens a lot. Especially some of the Pilot Urushi ones. They're beautiful. But they're very, 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 very expensive. So the likelihood of me ever getting them is probably very, 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 very small. But that's okay. I'm happy with what I have. And this ink is one of the new Van Diemen's Chromo Shading line. And it is Last Light. And the two that I really wanted are this one and Nightfall, but I can't find Nightfall in stock anywhere. So maybe sometime this year. Although I am trying to do a much less, buy a lot less this year and just enjoy what I have. And this one is an extra fine, but it's a lot. The Onyx nibs I've seen, I feel like are like a nib size wider. And this ink is a very dry ink, and it writes fine in without any white lighting or anything in the Onyx nib. So if you're looking for a pen that works very well with dry inks, I would try the TWSBI with Onyx. Those work really well. And then the next ink that I have is another carryover from last month. And it's also a 2024 Inkvent ink. It's Diamine Snow Globe. And I just really like this color, and I like the shimmer and the especially the combination of the shimmer and the color, because it's a chameleon. And this is a TWSBI Go. And I've really started to like these a lot lately. I have a few of them. And this is, I think they call this one Sapphire. I don't know, it's the blue one. And this is an extra fine nib. And sorry my handwriting is so messy right now. I'm at a kind of a weird angle because I only have my table right at. I live in a small apartment, but that's plenty big for me. But so I don't have like the best lighting or the best conditions to film, but I just use what I have and it works. Maybe I should just put a drop of ink down. I don't know if that would help. At least this one I can do that with. Because this is a TWSBI. Oof, maybe not. Because it's very wet now. And this is a very, it's not as dark as it looks on here. Great, I shouldn't have done that. That was a bad idea. But I guess I didn't know until I tried. So this is Sailor Manyo Curry. And I've had this ink for like a year now. And I kept swatching it and kept swatching it. And I loved it, but I never inked it up until now. So now I'm using it. TWSBI. This is the Diamond 580. And now instead of buying all the TWSBIs, I am just doing the Breakfast collection. Unless they come out with one that I really, really, really like. And that's the Affogato with Onyx. and extra fine. And then this next pen is the pen that this is the pen that I have always wanted ever since I got into fountain pens, like back in 2014. I've always wanted this pen. I never pulled the trigger on it. And then I saw that it's going up in price again next year. So I looked around and I was able to get it on like a promotion, like on a pay later promotion. I know they're not the best. I try not to do them often, but I didn't want to wait until this went up in price again. And I found it at Kirk Spears' website, and what's nice with him is any pen that you buy from Kirk, he will tune to however you want it to write, and he doesn't charge you for that. So basically you're getting free tuning, and if it's a pen like a Pilot where you can't get a discount, like you can't use a discount code on Pilot, on the higher end Pilot, so like a Pilot Custom 823 you can't. So it was well worth buying it from him. So if there's a pen that you want and it's one that like a regular retailer won't offer a discount on, I would reach out to someone like Kirk Spear or one of the, I don't know if any of the other Nibmeisters also sell pens, but I asked him to make mine a little bit wetter because I wanted to put in sesame oil, and I also plan on using probably Murasaki Shikibu, which ironically is a little bit dry, even though it's an Iroshizuku ink. It's one of the drier Iroshizuku inks, so I asked him to do that, and this pen writes amazing with this London Toolbar ink, and I am so happy with this pen, and I will probably be using this pen for all of this year, if not most of this year. And if not all of this year, most of it. And so I initially put in Tsukushi, but I wanted to try a dryer ink like sesame oil, and it works beautifully. So I'm very glad I bought it where I did, because I was able to get it tuned. And then the last ink is an ink I wasn't sure I was going to get. This is Diamine's new Reddit Diamine ink called Lady Grey. And if you're in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, the last time I was at Wet Paint, they had a few bottles of this ink. I haven't seen it online anywhere. And it had been, well, I've seen it online, but it had been out of stock. And I had a pen that the converter broke, so I had to go get a new converter, and I had it. So I picked it up. So I was very happy. And they also have a website online, and so if you want to order online, you can from them. But I like going in there. And this is my TWSBI. And this is a dryer ink for Diamine. Eco White Rose Gold. And this is a fine nib, so It is a drier diamine ink, but it's a very pretty diamine ink. So if you get a chance to get a sample or a bottle, I would recommend trying this ink. Unlike most months where I have a ton of inks, these are all the inks I plan on using this month. And my primary ink is probably going to be sesame oil and Konagi, but we'll see. I like all of these inks, so I am excited to use them together and see which ones I really like. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!